Heroes and Heroines, and welcome to what will surely be the shortest ever stream of Practising Programming in C, in which I'm just going to fix up a little bit of stuff that I did yesterday. Yesterday we were doing the memory book stuff, and I realised that I basically did it so that it would ease the freeing of the stuff, and I sort of I threw in the freeing code pretty quickly. It's essentially this. The freeing of the book is actually correct, I reckon, because all that's doing is freeing the actual book content itself, but it's freeing the config that I didn't do correctly. Essentially, we will need a little bit more stuff. I'll just explain what that is. All we're doing in this free config call is freeing the pointer to the people, or the pointer to the persons, setting their person count to 0, freeing the pointer to the projects, and setting the project count to 0, and then finally freeing the config itself. That ain't sufficient. We're going to need to have a free project call, and I'll show you why. If we just go up into the config, get there. So a config contains these guys, right? I think we might even have to have a free person call as well, actually, because people can have multiple supports. So let's go up to them, persons. So you can see here, a person has a support and a support count. They have a pointer to a support. Now this thing has to be allocated. So in order to free a person, we will need to actually go into each of the people and free their support pointer and set their support count to 0. So that's one thing we need to do. And in the project, we've got a similar situation. We've got multiple mediums here, so we'll need to free this particular pointer and set the medium count to 0. We should also, yeah, we've got these. So we've got a pointer to an owner. I don't think we will need to, in the same way that we won't need to free this default medium pointer, because there is enough space for this pointer, if you know what I mean. I don't think we'll need to free this particular pointer either. But we will need to free these, because these are essentially pointers to pointers. It's like multiple annotators, multiple guests, and multiple co-hosts, and we will have to do the corollary. Is there a word for that? Yeah. Well, we'll have to do the whatever. Set these guys to 0. This child count here. So yeah, got to free these pointers, set the medium count to 0. Got to free these pointers to pointers, setting these to 0, and then we will have to go through their child projects, right? And for each child project, do the same thing as what we do in this particular project. So yes, those two things. So let's do that. Let's do free person first of all. Do I call it? Is it that, or is it just? No, they're just persons. And it was just free the support, wasn't it? Okay, so then that means that we need to free for each person. We need to do that, and then finally we free the persons. I think that's all we need to do. um, yeah, because these people here are actual. Yeah, these are pointers to people. Or rather, let me put that another way. These are not pointers to people. This is multiple people. Seems to free them as we're doing this, I reckon. So that's one part of the puzzle. So see if that crashes. No. And then what we need to do is we need to then loop over all of the projects within the config, doing free project on them, and then finally free the config factual projects. So let's go and see what the project actually contains. Let's pop it over here as well. So free project, all we need to do is for this guy, we need to go over all of the we don't need to go over anything, do we? So in the same way we just, in free person, just freed all of the supports in one fell swoop. All we need to do is we need to free the pointer to the person. Maybe it'd be sufficient to just free, you know, call free p support, call free on p annotator, p guest and p co-host, and then set their counts to 0. Do the same with the medium. I mean, certainly that's going to just be free. It's also worth bearing in mind that after we've done all this, we are going to have to do a loop over the... We'll have to go into each project, into each child, calling free project on that person. So yeah, let's just try. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be correct yet. Let's do it in the order that this is written down there. Really? Where's my cursor? Really? That was the only place I was using co-host count, was it? I assume I'm not actually... Yeah, I suppose I'm not passing them in, am I, yet? So we free the mediums, free the annotator, set the count to 0. And then finally you just need to be going into each project and doing this free project. Let's just first of all check. The only thing I'm just not sure about is if you should be passing it like that or passing it like this. That's the only question. Okay, so that doesn't crash. Let me just actually see what happens if I do this. Because usually if you try and pass an address to something that shouldn't be like that, you end up with this happening. Yeah, okay. And also let me just try this way as well. So that's just an unknown address. Okay, so we're doing the right thing. Then finally you need to for int I equals 0. I is less than the p child count. Right, and then you just do p child count is equal to 0. And with a bit of luck, we're actually now freeing everything that we need to be freeing. Because the thing I'd just forgotten about was freeing the pointers to these guys. That's all we're actually freeing here. We're not freeing actual content as such, because the content is in the books. It's in the memory books. All we're freeing here is the pointers. Oh, we're not calling it. Oh, yeah, we are. So we are. Yeah, we are. We are calling free project. So that's going to call that all that's project counts, and the project itself is going to free all of that stuff, and then set that. And a config we've established only actually contains people and projects. Yeah. They don't contain the full stuff that a project actually contains, so they don't need to be doing this medium count and annotator count because it's not appropriate for that. So yeah, we're not crushing. We're building, we're not crushing. And I assume that we're just doing the right thing now. There is one final thing I'd like to do before we end the stream, and that is simply to change the, where do we have add page? Change this little function here to, you can see that they're doing essentially the same thing in 2 different places here. All this function really needs to do is, obviously it has to write a string to in bulk. What I'm going to change to do is make it do like a get page for string, essentially. Get or add page for string. So that function will be responsible for looping over the current page count and essentially doing this, seeing if it can find a thing that it can fit the string in. If it can't, add a new one and return a pointer to the person that we should be adding to. So memory page. So it's just going to be doing the same thing essentially. We just want to return the mpage I, don't we? Just retain this. We also need to set the length of that thing. Well, we need to set the result in the result base. We need to set those guys definitely. I think also, yeah, it's just going to be like, it will actually be more like this guy, because you can see this is saying a thing. Right, that's essentially what you want to be doing. Then you just do I mean, we can't actually return nothing, can we, at the moment? So you don't need to bother checking. I was sort of thinking, wasn't I, about checking if we couldn't fit a particular string in a book, we just assert on it. I'm currently saying that a book that this book that we're currently working with has a page size of 1 kilobyte, which should be definitely big enough to fit whatever anybody wants to put in here. So maybe we just don't need to bother. But if it needed to be more robust, then we'd have to check that. Do a quick print book actually before we go. Yeah, and it still looks fine. It's kind of funny actually to see, like, this is a quick way of seeing how much you're using, because you know that a page is each page is a kilobyte in size. So you can just like eyeball it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a bit kilobytes for the config. I could probably actually do some sort of essentially, what do you call it? Not one-length encoding, but LZ compression here. By like, you know, scanning through the thing to see if we've actually already got a string that matches that, and if we have, then just point back into that. I could do that kind of a thing, but I don't think I'll bother. I think it's not actually pointing, is it? It's just using an offset from where you currently are. I could do that potentially to decrease the size of this information here, but I don't think there's much value in doing it. You know, we're talking about like 8 kilobytes. It's not a great deal. So yeah, I think that was all I wanted to do. It was the free project, so we do actually do that now. And it was the getting of the page. I don't believe there was anything else I cared to do at the moment. Point to person, yes, we're not currently not doing that, nor are we pointing to mediums. What was that born of? Oh yeah, I could actually delete that and that. And this, what is that? That's just going to print in the string. Yeah. I mean, I did actually also think that this is going to be dead easy. Right. Like in the default case, or rather, maybe we could roll this routine up into here, right? And then we just say, if the we see this, increment past it, if the next character is one of these, then we just go through until we hit one of these, right? And then we consider that our variable. If this isn't the next character, then all you do is you just do a while character is a valid what do you call it, identifier character. Could do that, but I think that's gonna be next time when I'm actually doing the resolution stuff. Because yeah, I literally just wanted to do the quick tweak of the memory thing. And I now cannot remember what that question was. It might have been about the co-hosts. Oh, that was it. It was a co-host, wasn't it? The co-host count. So yeah, we're not using that anywhere apart from in the free project function. So yeah, that was just evidence of the fact that we're not touching it. You know, when we do push project, it's essentially in here. We're not actually pushing on a pointer to a project, to a person. Sorry, we're not doing that. Which is something that we will have to do, and that'll probably involve essentially climbing the tree up to the root scope, because it's in the root scope that's actually going to have those people in it, isn't it? Well, this is the past config, isn't it? Can I do the print the scope tree? Oh, we did print the scope tree. Well, hold on. Let me just not print the config just for a second. Oh, it's got all the resolve string stuff. So here we go. So basically what I'm looking for here is within projects, do we have people? And we don't. No. We just have the mediums are sort of laid out in the project. But the people themselves are only stored. Yeah, we don't even get there. Where do we do the print scope? Well, it's the print scope tree, isn't it? I suppose actually we could just if zero this, couldn't we? So we can actually see the scope tree. So hopefully this is the root scope, and we should hopefully see some people. Yeah, there we go. We see person Mitatsu. That's what I want to be seeing. So yeah, there's the person, and the person will also be pointing into the support themselves. But the project will only need to be pointing at the person, because the person comes with its own support. Yes, which we're not doing. So yeah, like I say, it'd just be a case of climbing the scope tree up to the root scope to actually get that stuff. Yeah, but that is all for the stream. 25 minutes. I think that is less than. I think that's possibly the shortest ever don't think did I ever manage to get a stream that was under 30 minutes when we were actually trying to honour Mike Acton's advice to practice for 30 minutes a day and throw it away. I don't know, but we've managed it today. 25 minutes. That's it. That's your lot. So thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, and see you on the next one when we will be resolving variables. Farewell for now.